Thursday, May the 21st, 2026, and I'm down in Kent, about to do a either 10 or 11 mile circular of East Malling. Not quite sure yet, depends how it works out. It's a figure of 8, but I haven't quite worked out which version I'm going to do, so bear with me on that one. Got a reasonable day today at the moment. It's a bit overcast, but the afternoon looks promising. Sunny spells forecast. Main thing is it isn't raining, albeit we do need the water. Yeah, I'm hoping to take my lunch at a place called, I think it's Teestun. It's a church there. So this is another Sean walk, free walk, or SWC walk 446, which can be started at either West Farleigh, making it around 11.5 miles, or here, East Farleigh, with a variable distance. It's around 12 noon now, so let's crack on. Should be back here around 5ish, fingers crossed. No rush though. Well, just crossed over the level crossing to get to this path, and this is not impressing me already. It's like the council have been up here and trimmed every living plant on the verge, i.e. depriving little critters of their food supply, nectar, etc, etc. I just don't understand. I say this every year and have been since what, probably the last decade, and it still continues. I don't get it. What is the purpose, apart from people's legs getting stung, of cutting this verge? Madness. And then everyone notices that there's no insects about. Now with East Farleigh behind me, into open countryside, which interestingly is wheat at this point, and a nice tree line beside me. Not sure what they are, but they look like they might be fruit bearing. Views back to the North Downs. Skylarks in attendance. Okay, at this busy crossroads, we take a public footpath with the marker hidden in stinging nettles. Big concrete block there. Diagonal to the crossroads. Some recent tree clearance here, and I'm wondering how they get away with cutting at this time of year. Obviously with all the birds nesting. That's the whole point of the Wildlife and Countryside Act, 1981 I believe. But yeah, how do they get around it? Because it applies everywhere, private estates, etc. Now entering some welcome woodland, known as Hillbury Park on the map. Gets me out the midday sun, and that's just as well because I forgot my sunscreen this morning. Don't really need it, but I suppose it's a good idea. Ward off the old big C. Don't know if these are sweet chestnut or hornbeam. I think they're sweet chestnuts. Unsure. Just passing a chalet park on my right. At this 3-arm finger post, you could take the path straight on, continuing the same direction, and go to Livesey Street, which is where I aim to be pretty soon anyway. But I'm going to stick with the GPX track, which I'm using today, to do a right here and then a left, and then alter the track somewhat to get to lunch at Teston. I'll be doing the walk in reverse at that stage. Pretty decent footpaths thus far. Some kind of small stone in the mud, so yeah, not bad at all. So at this finger post I'm altering the track slightly, continuing straight ahead to rejoin the track somewhere in the wood there. The GPX track goes to the right here towards another pub marked on the map, but as I say, I'm varying the route there somewhat to avoid a bit of duplication later on. Yes, I haven't got a signal finally. I've done a Google search and this is indeed Sweet Chestnut, which I gathered from the name of that lane, Sweets Lane, invariably named after the woodland, I suppose. Evidence again of further clearance. Maybe if the clearance is for commercial purposes, coppicing or whatever it is, then maybe they can get around the Wildlife Act. So this three-armed finger post, as I say, I'm continuing straight on, rejoining the GPX track here, which comes in from my right. Just hit a section where clearly could be muddy and deep puddles in the winter months. Not right now though. So just passing North Lodge in Livesey Street, and I may have walked past this in the past. Seems familiar. Onward journeys uphill here. Not quite sure what bird is making that warning note. Could be a nuthatch. Can't see it at the moment. Yeah, doesn't like me being here anyway. Entering Teston now, so there'll be a little bit of road walking ahead. No footpath on this section either. Not every day of the week you see one of those. Cricket and hockey ball factory. Now a residential home by the looks of it. Interestingly, there's some village stores here, which is convenient with the church spire just coming into view behind it. I've already acquired my grub. There's the opening hours. So here we are. Now it doesn't look like, from what I can see here, there are any seats in the churchyard. Oh, I see one over there, yep. But in any case, there are a number on this sports field just behind the village shop. So, all good. The local resident just told me that the church is likely to be locked as well. Let's see. Information panel here about Teston, overlooking the Medway Valley, associated with Roman and pre-Roman occupation. Dioceses of Rochester here, St Peter and St Paul, Teston. And no, you can't get in, surprisingly. Interesting church door, looks like someone's home. There's a seat there in the sun, too hot today for that. Or one over there which is semi-shaded. Or of course I could go onto the village green sports field if I don't find anything better. That'll do, nice and shaded. Fortunately, the problem with having a shady seat is it gets covered in bird droppings. So, and this chap, it's, what's that name, Pereira? Sir H. Charles Pereira, FRS, who seems to be from a big family around here because his wife's buried just behind me. Good idea, but the seat needs cleaning, I'm afraid. So let's try the one in the semi-shade. And as you can see, his wife lived to be 102 or thereabouts. Yeah, she did make 102 and a half actually. God rest their souls. Well, in fact, there are some picnic tables here behind the parish council office, but they're in the sun as well. So I might as well plonk myself on this seat here. Everything's in the sun today. 13:34, lunch is served. Okay, whilst having my lunch, I was accompanied by loads of bees busy working on the blossoms of this tree, of which I've looked on Google and can't identify. They came up with a kind of hawthorn, but it's clearly not that. Someone else mentioned a white beam, which I've never heard of. It's got a lovely aroma, and the bees clearly love it. They're busy at work. I wondered if it's some kind of cherry. No, looking at the leaves, it may be some kind of beam. It's like, so the person that mentioned white beam may be right. It's also hosting some mistletoe. I also noticed the flag for my football team, Arsenal. Well done, the Arsenal. Premier League champions for the first time in 22 years. So I've never been able to say that whilst recording these videos, which date back 17. Fantastic achievement. I don't see them beating Paris, but if they do, that'll be the cherry. It's also my birthday last week, so things are looking good at the moment. Double celebration in a few days. A rail line, then passing Teston Bridge Country Park, where there is also a coffee kiosk. Unsure what that stretches to, but you can research that if you so wish. Lodge coffee shop. Now crossing over Teston Bridge, one of these old sort of pack bridges, or whatever they're called. Got a weir up there. This is the River Medway. Plenty of chiff-chaffs about as usual. Dubious section of road walking that over the Medway Bridge, or the Medway there. Luckily for me, the level crossing was down and it held up the traffic behind me. But a couple of 100 yards of dubious road walking there. We're now on the Medway Valley Walk. Medway Valley Walk continues right down that lane, but I'm going through this gate ahead here, aiming for West Farleigh, albeit I won't be going into West Farleigh because I don't need the pub for lunch. A rare sight on a hot day, a fox. Johnny the Fox, he called you Billy the Weed. I wonder if anyone recognises that line. I'll be very surprised. Famous Irish band. Best Irish band in the business in my book. R.I.P. the lead singer, who died far too young. Johnny the Fox, he called you Billy the Weed. So there's the buildings of, and chimneys actually, of West Farleigh and its lunchtime pub, the recommended lunchtime stop. But as I say, I don't need that, so I'm doing a right here, following a path to Teestun Hall on the map and rejoining the GPX track. It's very soon. Some amazing mistletoe up there. Glorious afternoon now, around 20 degrees I should say. Bird song everywhere. Glorious. Lovely May day. As I say, it's been a good week so far. Come on you Reds. Now this is where resource should be allocated. Well done Kent County Council. Cleared this path through the nettles. Not on footpaths right smack bang next to the station where it's not needed, but out here in the wilderness. Makes sense to me. Field of horses, thankfully. As I say, not many cattle these days. Thank the Lord. East Moorland with its church spire in the distance. And there's the oaths of Teestun Hall. Teestun Hall, not Teestun. Glorious. Just the remote sound of jets in the background, but nothing too discernible. Interesting place. Clearly an old farm that's been converted into modern day residential and possibly units, work units. Closer view of the Oast. Old cider house. Well, Pat. And the eaves are absolutely suited to house martin nests. Just seen them going in there. An aggressive Rottweiler, no, not Rottweiler. Yes, Rottweiler, sorry. At that farmstead there. But he calms down if you ignore him. And some interesting goats in the field opposite, which I couldn't film because of the Rottweiler. Sun tanning themselves. Large polytunnels opposite me. Not sure what they're growing, might be strawberries. Or maybe not. Are they vines? Don't know. Strawberries are out already in the supermarket, so no fruit on these. Don't know what that is. pretty decent sized vessels get up this far, look, on the Medway. Yeah, I wonder what that's for. Owl or hawk. Whoever gets there first, probably. So circling round Waregraves Wood there on my left per the map. Just missed the ransoms, but I can still smell the tail end of it. Lovely and cool in here now, next to the river, just on my right. Along a boardwalk, reflecting how muddy and damp it could be down here during the wetter months of the year. There's a whitethroat in that bush over there. There you go. What a lovely sight. Buttercups everywhere. So you've got the Ramblers Rest here, just ahead of the railway crossing. Google that for more info. Obviously it's not winter hours at the moment. In the boatyard there. Sunday roast. Not so sure about dogs welcome though. Not a good idea. Over the Medway again, as I await the train to pass. Now, having just come through Wateringbury, a place I haven't been to before, now taking this byway out of that town. Well, it's not called Wateringbury for nothing. Look at that, drains don't work. 3 of them. It's clearly where the water's been directed to. So there you go. Bit of local history. But I'm not sure what pipeline they're referring to. Well, there we go, that one. Further roast conversion. More polytunnels. Bird stuck in there, is it? No, it got out. Blackbird, he knows the way. Looks like a different crop in that one. We are with an old leaf. That's leaf as in LEAF UK.org. They're the group of farmers that work in conjunction with the RSPB for the benefit of wild birds. But I would guess that signage was put up way before this polytunneling went into the field, because that's hardly attractive or conducive to wildlife. As we saw with that blackbird struggling to get out. Must be like an oven in there. But I don't know what the crop is that they're growing. With global warming now and our summers heating up, it's amazing the Mediterranean crops you could grow, especially down in this part of the country. And beyond that, look at that, eh? Yeah. Wonderful in the distance, not this polytunnel. Okay, so my journey now continues into woodland. Hothe Wood, I think it's called, per the map. Wonderful song thrush up there. Usual time, around about 4 o'clock, which it is. More polytunnels. Amazing how Kent's slowly changing, eh? Grapevines and polytunnels. Still following the pipeline through Howth Wood, which again is looks like hornbeam and sweet chestnut again. Could be a bit rough underfoot here in the winter months. Doesn't matter which path you take actually, because you're going to end up on the GPX track anyway. That is the official route, but I'm going to go straight ahead because, as I say, gets me back on the GPX track anyway. And what was once Howth Wood has clearly been cleared, but the vista's the same either way. Aye aye, bit of shooting. Passing Kings Hill Sports Park. Entering a outdoor trim trail, which kind of destroys the forest really. Not into all this kind of humanity entering the wildlife area. Clearly some young in there. Probably woodpeckers. Here we are, Warren Woods Nature Park. Picnic table over there as well. Lots of this, it's not blossom but seeds off some tree flying around in the air today. It's coming from this one, I think it's downy birch, hence the name. These look like good old apples. Wonderful to see. I think they're apple. Could be pear, but no, I think they're apple. Downs in the background. Pikey Lane to Broadwater Farm. No political correctness back in the day, and rightly so, in my humble. I, however, continue straight ahead towards Wells Street. Not quite a blue plaque, but an interesting one nonetheless. Look at the date, 1410. There you go, Derby's, with a bit added on. Most opposite Derby's, you've got this footpath marker, and that takes you back to West Farleigh station, which is a bit further away than the one I'm aiming for. East Farleigh, which is straight on down this lane. And in any case, I'm doing an East Farleigh circular today, albeit I don't know which variant I've done, and I won't know either because I forgot to switch my pedometer back on, so I don't know how far I've walked really. Tompy. So just by this post box, which is still collected because the Friday badge is on it, we take a right here. Like there was a hike today, Thursday 21st of May from the King and Queen pub, 6 PM. No, it's tonight. 3 hours. Cool, they're optimistic, aren't they? Clear water here. Wonderful. Very pleasant temperature in the shade as well. Good aroma, good chi, nice energy. Wonderful. Yeah, another rare sight these days. The humble rabbit. Got himself a nice spot there, tucking in. East Moorlands Church. So here we are, after X number of miles, I do not know. Got 8 minutes, it's almost 5 o'clock on the button. Got 8 minutes to wait for the train to West Farleigh, where I'll change for the London Bridge train. That was a very decent walk, and one I haven't done before. Don't know the area. Wateringbury, very nice. I believe I've done the full 11-mile version of that walk. That would make sense, seeing as I started at what was it, about 12 noon. It's 5 o'clock now, so yeah, it would add up. So thanks Sean for that one. Free walk 464 completed, and very good it was. Balmy but not too bad. Nice breeze. So perfect May day and the end of a very good week for me. Wonderful. Till the next time.